Huddle Up Podcast is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app, that's arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? I threw together 5 games here to pick against the spread. We'll go a little bit kind of rapid fire here as we had some good discussion here on the on the start. So I have the site of College Game Day this week, actually. Liberty 9-1 at number 20. This is actually in the AP poll because I polled them, but I think they're 18 in the playoff. Coastal Carolina 9-0. They're a 7-point home favorite. This one, 2 o'clock Saturday on ESPNU, the over-under 57. I have Coastal Carolina winning this game and actually carrying the 7 points. And I'm going to go over as well. I think we're going to see a lot of scoring in this one. But good to see Liberty and Coastal Carolina on the national stage like this.
I would. I think I'm going to roll right with you, Jim. I think a few weeks ago we had Liberty covering a 30-some point spread, and we both took it and we both hit it. They were cruising high, ran into an NC State team, lost, took a little wind out of their sails. We both love everything going on in Coastal Carolina. I too like them to cover the spread. Like to see them in a New Year's Bowl. I'll take the over as well.
Nick, how about you?
I'm going to make it 3 for 3. I'm going to go with Coastal Carolina. And as far as them making a New Year's Day Bowl, it would be one of the greatest stories in college football, bar none. And I would pay, if I were allowed to go to a stadium and watch Coastal Carolina play in a New Year's Day Bowl, I would actually do that.
Yeah, Jake brings up a good point here. Undefeated against the spread is Coastal Carolina. So
that was Jake calling the kicker hasn't missed all year. That was Jake calling that one. So we've all got that game wrong.
Then we go to honestly, this is not a good week for college football. There's a lot of bad games, not much in the way of 2 top 25 teams playing each other. So I kind of pulled some large spreads here. One of them being 2:30 Saturday on NBC. The team we were just talking pretty long-winded about, Notre Dame hosting 1-9 Syracuse, number 2 Notre Dame 9-0. 32.5-point favorites this Saturday in the home finale. I look at this, and I haven't done it all year. I'm going to go Notre Dame plus the points. I think they're looking at the fact that, especially with the next week's game being canceled, they want to make sure that they don't leave any doubt in the College Football Playoff Committee's mind. Notre Dame plus, and I'm going to take the over. Notre Dame might hit close to that over themselves, 51.5. So, Sean, what about you?
It's real hard. Just being a Notre Dame fan, picking them to cover a spread this big. And even this year, they've won games handedly, but haven't really seen this. But Syracuse is bad. I'm going to take Notre Dame to cover for the same reason. I don't think they need to.
No.
They definitely want to, especially on that senior stage. And I think, though, I'm going to take the spread, but I'm going to take the under. I feel like they're not going to score enough because I think there's a chance Syracuse comes out of this with 3 or 6 points. I'm
especially
going to take
against
Notre
that
Dame. We're going to cover the 30-plus, but stay under 51.
Very good, Nick. How about you?
You guys are going to hate me. This is screaming crap game. When you look at the schedule and you're like, oh, why them? Why now? Why? Notre Dame will win. There's no doubt about it. They will not cover. And it's good. The reason why they won't cover is because they're only going to win by 31 points. This is one of those games where
that's why I almost took Syracuse in this. It's because of like a 30-point win. I'd be happy with a 30-point win.
Where you see where you see half, and you're like, I just can't do it. And I'm going to say, what was the over again?
51.5.
41-10. There's your final score.
Under.
That's how it's going to end.
A lot of pissed off bettors is what you're saying.
Pretty much. And I got a scary feeling it's going to be 10-10 at the half, and then Notre Dame will score 31 unanswered points in the second half.
If it's 10-10 at the half, I'm going to be blinded drunk on Saturday. I'm going to tell you that right now because I am everything else this year has given me. I don't need to be that stressed out about Notre Dame Syracuse. Huddle Up Podcast is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app, that's arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? All right, let's continue. The only game 2 top 25 teams playing each other. 5-1 Indiana travels to number 16 Wisconsin, who's only 2-1. They're a 14-point home favorite. 50.5 is the over/under. This one 3:30 on ABC. I know Wisconsin's good. I know Indiana has is missing their starting quarterback. But, Wisconsin, they played once. They were off for a couple weeks. They played again. They're off for a couple more. To me, that's hard to find any rhythm. This Indiana team still believes in themselves. I think Wisconsin wins this game, but I like Indiana to cover the 14. I like the under, though. I think both teams are going to struggle to score a little bit, and you can go ahead and lock this one up.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Sean, we go to you.
This is one of those big horror stories. I mean, I think, Indiana, had a potential Heisman winner this year under center had they found a way to beat Ohio State. And I see my man Jake here in the comments. Next year's Heisman winner out for IU. Wisconsin wins. I'm with you. Wisconsin wins. I'm going to take Wisconsin to cover. I think Wisconsin already had their slip. I'm going to take that. And I'm going to take the over. I'm going to go the other way. I think this is going to be one where Wisconsin jumps out ahead. Indiana is trying to play catch up, and Wisconsin just keeps it out there. And they're going to run the ball, but that Wisconsin runs the ball like most teams pass the ball. So I think it's going to still be pretty fast. I'm going to take the over. I'm going to take Wisconsin to cover, but heck of a year for Indiana either way. And I look forward to watching that kid next year.
Nick, how about you?
Penix is out. We know that.
We know that.
It's hard. I feel so bad for the kid. It's not even funny. I still believe in Indiana. I still believe that's a team that will go out there and punch Wisconsin in the mouth and say, just because we don't have our star quarterback doesn't mean we're going to knock the living crap out of you. Indiana beats Wisconsin, and I'm taking the over.
Very nice. Sean, I do want to wrap back this past weekend against the spread. I was 3-0. You were 2-1, so that puts me at 24-17 overall. I gained 1 game back on you. You were 28-13 overall on the season. Of course, we lost the Oklahoma game from last week's picks. So that's why there was only 3 games on the agenda. All right, then we go to 0-8 Vanderbilt at number 9 Georgia, 6-2. They are a 33.5 point home favorite. 53.5 is your over/under on this one. 4:00 on the SEC network. Look, I mean, obviously Vanderbilt with Sarah Fuller was a feel-good story this past weekend, but they fire their head coach. They're 0-8. They're a terrible football team. They had Fuller kick the second half kickoff because I'm pretty sure that was the only time she was getting on the field. Georgia's going to win this game. Georgia's going to cover the 33.5. I'm going to go under, though, because I don't know if Georgia hits 54 points to cover that over, because I don't think Vanderbilt's scoring anything. Sean.
Yeah, this is not one of those. I hate picking spreads this big. Oh my God. Just because the spread's large and we haven't differed on anything yet, I'm going to take Vanderbilt to cover. Change their coaches. Maybe you believe in something. Maybe Georgia just isn't that phenomenal. Now, Georgia does want to cover here. Georgia wants to win this by about 100 points to make any shot at a playoff realistic. But and you still need a Florida loss. But I'll take Vandy to cover. Why not? That's a huge spread. I'm probably going to miss this one, and you'll gain another game. But I'll take that. And because I need them to cover, I'm going to have to take the over.
All right, Nick, how about you?
Georgia in the under. What do you call it? I see this I see 51-0. Vanderbilt's so bad that
it's bad.
My 9-year-old, all 65 pounds of him, could probably play better than half the Vanderbilt players right now. This
bad, real bad. All right,
They hung up 35 on a Kentucky squad earlier in the year, so maybe
Kentucky also bad.
They gave up 38. Though.
Sorry to our cousin Jean Ellen. She lives in Kentucky. She's like a season ticket holder in a normal year to Kentucky basketball, Kentucky football, but that team's bad. I don't know what happened. They looked pretty good last year. They're bad too. All right, then we close out the college football slate with number 3 Clemson. They're 8-1, a 22-point road favorite at 4-5. Virginia Tech 66.5 is your over/under on this one. 7:30 on ABC. What a crappy night game, but it's a crappy weekend slate. I'm gonna go with. I'm going to stick with what I wrote down. I'm actually kind of regretting it. I'm going to go with Virginia Tech to cover, and by cover I mean lose by 21. But I'm going to take the over here. I think Virginia Tech's defense is not going to be able to slow them down. Their only hope is going to be able to score points. So Virginia Tech to cover and the over. Sean,
I agree with you on the over. And again, this might be the one that saves me, gets me that game back. I'm going to take Clemson to cover this one. I think this one's going to do everything that you thought the Vanderbilt game was. Virginia Tech obviously much better than Vanderbilt, but Clemson still trying to build that resume a little bit after the loss to Notre Dame. They want to do everything in their power just in case they need it, and I think they do it this week. So Clemson to cover.
And Nick, how about you?
This is the game that I actually circled for this weekend because it's Blacksburg. It's a night game. It doesn't matter if there's a crowd or no crowd. When you play Enter Sandman, and you know what that means when Virginia Tech with the lunch pails are ready to play. Yeah, I just don't see it happening this year. It's going to be Clemson. It's going to be what do you call it? I had this game, this damn COVID. I had this game circled if there were 70,000 screaming maniacs in the crowd. Totally would change the dynamic, but it's just not the same in Blacksburg with no crowd. You got to go with Trevor Lawrence and Clemson. Now, I think Virginia Tech will cover. They will, but Clemson definitely wins the game.
Huddle Up Podcast is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app, that's arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?